Friends, I welcome you all for the second part of the fundamental right. In this particular discussion, we are going to cover the right to freedom. So let us see what is right to freedom in detail. These are the contents which are coming under the right to freedom and that we want to cover in this particular discussion, that is protection of six rights, protection in respect of conviction for the offences, protection of life and personal liberty, and the right to education. First, protection of six rights. Article 19 guarantees to all citizens the six rights. These are right to freedom of speech and expression. The Supreme Court held that the freedom of speech and expression includes the following. First, right to propagate one's view as well as views of others. Freedom of press. Freedom of commercial advertisement. Right against tapping of telephonic conversation. Right to telecast, that is, the government has no monopoly on electronic media. Right against bandh called by the political party or the organizations. Right to know about the government activities. Freedom of silence. Right against the imposition of pre-censorship on a newspaper, and right to demonstrate but not to strike. So these are some basic right coming under the freedom of speech and expression. The second out of six is the right to assemble peaceably and without arm. Every citizen has the right to assemble peaceably and without arm. It includes the right to hold the public meetings, demonstration, and take out the procession. This freedom can be exercised only on public land, and the assembly must be peaceful and unarmed. This provision does not protect the violent, disorderly, riotous assemblies or one that cause breach of public peace or one that involves the arms. This right does not include the right to strike. The third right talks about right to form an association or unions or a cooperative societies. All the citizens have the right to form association or the unions or cooperative societies. It includes the right to form a political parties, companies, partnership firms, societies, clubs, organizations, trade union, or any body of persons. It not only includes the right to start an association or union, but also to continue with the association or union as such. Further, it covers the negative right of not to form or join an association or union. The fourth right talks about right to move freely throughout the territory of India. This freedom entitles every citizen to move freely throughout the territory of country. He can move freely from one state to another or from one place to another within the state. This right underlines the idea that India is one unit, so as far as the citizens are concerned, thus the purpose is to promote the national feeling and not a parochialism. The ground of imposing the reasonable restriction on this freedom are two, namely the interest of general public and the protection of interest of any scheduled tribe. The entry of outsider in tribal areas is restricted to protect the distinctive culture, language, custom and manner of scheduled tribes and to safeguard their traditional vocation and properties against the exploitation. Fifth is to reside and settle in any part of the territory of India. Every citizen has the right to reside and settle in any part of the territory of country. This right has a two part. First, the right to reside in any part of the country, which means to stay at any place temporarily, and the right to settle in any part of the country, which means to set up a home or domicile at any place permanently. This right is intended to remove the internal barrier within the country or between any of its part. This promotes the nationalism and avoids the narrow mindedness. Sixth right is talk about the practice any profession or to carry out on any occupation, trade or business. So there is a liberty to carry out or to have any profession, occupation, trade and business. So let us see what points and the amendment will come under this particular right. All the citizens are given the right to practice any profession or to carry on any occupation, trade or business. This right is very wide as it covers all the means of earning one's livelihood. The state can impose reasonable restriction on the exercise of this right in the interest of the general public. Further, the state is empowered to first prescribe professional or technical qualification necessary for practicing any profession or carrying on any occupation, trade or business, and carry on by itself any trade, business, industry or service, whether to the exclusion of citizen or otherwise. Thus, no objection can be made when the state carries on trade, business, industry or service either as a monopoly to the exclusion of citizen or in competition with any citizen. The state is not required to justify its monopoly. This right does not include the right to carry on profession or business or trade or occupation that is immoral, that is trafficking in women or children's, or dangerous, harmful drugs or explosives, etc. The state can absolutely prohibit these or regulate them through the licensing. Second is the protection in respect of the conviction for offences. Article 20 grants protection against the arbitrary and excessive punishment to an accused person, whether the citizen or foreigner or the legal person like company or corporation. It contains three provisions in that direction. No ex post facto law, that is, no person shall be convicted of any offence except of violation of the law in the force at the time of commission of the act, nor subjected to the penalty greater than that described by the law in force at the time of commission of the act. No double jeopardy, no person shall be prosecuted and punished for the same offence more than once. So this is very important. One should know that how the one person can get protection in respect of the conviction for the offences. No self-incrimination, that is, no person accused of any offence shall be compelled to be a witness against himself. So these points comes under the protection. Then third is protection of life and personal liberty. Article 21 declares that no person shall be deprived of his life or personal liberty except according to the procedure established by the law. This right is available to both citizens and non-citizens. The Supreme Court has reaffirmed that its judgment in the Menaka case in subsequent cases. It has declared the following right as per the Article 21. So let us see what are those. Right to live with human dignity, right to a decent environment including pollution-free water and air and protection against the hazardous industries, right to livelihood, right to privacy, right to shelter, right to health, right to free education up to 14th years of age, right to free legal aid, right against solitary confinement, right to speedy trial, right against handcuffing, right against inhuman treatment, right against delayed execution, right to travel abroad, right against the bonded labor, right against the custodial harassment, right to emergency medical aid, right to timely medical treatment in government hospital, right to be driven out of the state, right to a fair trial, right to prisoner to have necessities of life, right of woman to be treated with decency and dignity, right against the public hanging, right to hearing, right to information, right to reputation, right to appeal from the judgment of conviction, right to social security and protection of the family, right to social and economic justice and empowerment, right against barfetter, right to appropriate life insurance policy, right to sleep bodies, right to freedom from the noise pollution, and the last is right to electricity. So these are the some rights that we can avail and are having privileges that one person of or the citizen of India will get for the life and personal liberty. Then right to education. Article 21 declares that the state shall provide free and compulsory education to all the children of the age of 6 to 14 years in such a manner as the state may determine. Thus, this provision makes only elementary education a fundamental right and not a higher or professional education. So, as per this right, one can or the students or the children between the age of 6 to 14 will get their elementary education. The right to education doesn't cover the higher and professional education. Protection against the arrest and detention. Article 22 grants a protection to persons who are arrested or detained. Detention is of two types, name punitive and preventive. Punitive detention is to punish a person for an offense committed by him after a trial and conviction in court. Preventive detention, on the other hand, means the detention of a person without trial and conviction by a court. Its purpose is to punish a person for a past offense but to prevent him from the committing an offense in the near future. Thus, the preventive detention is only a precautionary measure and based on the suspicion. Article 22 has two parts. The first part deals with the cases of ordinary law and second part deals with the cases of preventive detention law. So, in this particular video, we discussed the right to freedom. Under that, we studied and discussed the 6 basic rights, then the protection against the protection for the personal and personal life, and so on. Thank you for watching.